Yes, sir.
Shout outs to Christopher Charles, who was tuned in earlier. Get over to SportsRap TV.
Mm-hmm.
Gloria Jones, Miss Josie, good friend of ours.
Gloria.
Everybody here tuned in. And a special shout out to Janice Bates. Janice Bates, you need to send us a comment. Let us know who you are. The name sounds familiar, but we appreciate you. As we know, birthdays for myself, Frank. Got the two winter guys. Got Baldy. His birthday is in the summer, spring. But nonetheless, we all in here together. It's a birthday toast. You see it live on there. And this is a family thing, y'all.
And Merry New Year.
We all may not be here every week, but we are always in tune with each other, and we are always in tune with the show. So I'm going to take a hit of this before we get...
Touche, my brother.
Take it all down.
I ain't taking no
birthday shots. That's right. He don't drink brown, so he's not going to take it all the way down. He can sip on that. Simply Monica's boss lady.
Whiskatel.
I'm sorry, we had to take a birthday toast.
Oh, yeah.
Because there was 2 birthdays celebrated over the last couple of days, so we had to take a birthday toast.
Don't get mad at us, Mo.
But we kept it nice.
She was
we kept it nice. We kept it clean.
She was Doc Pack.
We ain't really do no damage to the festivities that are over there.
That cake.
So we gonna cut this cake though, and we gonna have some cake later. So we got 5 games on Christmas Day. 5, which what I think should be good games. So we're gonna do these in order. We're gonna go in order from the time frame. And for some reason, I don't know why, I thought the Sixers came on at 12, but we got the second game. We the 2:30 game.
Yes, sir. I'm watching it.
But the first game up is the Celtics and the Raptors.
I'm gonna watch a little bit of it.
So it's a lot that we can talk about with the Celtics and the Raptors. Remember back when we first started basketball season, Frank, you asked me and we talked about where we thought people would land as far as the rankings. And I kept saying to you, I said, I have to put the Raptors in the mix as far as top 5 for respect that they are the defending champs.
You did.
You know, I mean, and that's the reason. But they are still playing pretty good basketball. They have a real good coach. I mean, I kind of hate to say it, but as I watch them,
they don't miss squad.
They are they do and they don't.
But they real quick. Not saying I'm repeating what's on ESPN. They learned from his winning ways.
Yeah,
it rubbed off.
That's what I said. They
rubbed off.
You know what I mean? Like they do.
You know what I mean?
They do, and they don't. You still gotta go out and produce.
Yeah, true. And they have.
That's why I say I feel like they miss him and they don't miss him.
Right.
Like they miss his leadership. On the court like that. They miss that. They definitely miss that.
Well, Siakam said not having them there gives me 10 to 12 more shots. Now.
Right. And that's what I said. So then they don't miss him because now you have guys like Siakam sauce up with them missing them and not missing them.
Yeah, they make the playoffs.
So while we're talking about them, so some of the bullet points that I mentioned, and we can talk about these, we can break these down as we go. And I'll just list them all real quick. So for the Raptors, I had the defending champs. They're also, if you will, a new look team. And also, can Siakam emerge as the guy, step into the foot space that, and this is a question that has been asked, but a lot of people have been somewhat shying away from it. And I have to talk. I feel like I need to say it because I am a fan of his. And one of the questions that I have is, how much does Kyle Lowry have left in the tank?
Yeah, I'm about to say that.
Well, I mean, he's getting older, man. I mean, the injuries. Kyle Lowry is what, 35?
He's 35. I think he's like 32.
Close to 36 now.
I was way off.
And you notice that he's had groin injuries. He's had hamstring injuries. And as you get older, as an older player, those are the things that LeBron James is. Those wheels, the tread on those wheels get a lot lower.
Yeah, they can't do it.
You know what I mean? And the mileage is real. Yeah, they Bentleys. They're Bentleys. They're the Bentleys of the things where I think it's just a matter of time for Kyle Lowry. I think he got a good two good years.
Yeah, I think he got about.
He got his ring. He got his ring.
But I think he's okay.
And I'm just saying a good 2 years of being
productive
in elite status of being able to stay in front of these other guards.
Yeah.
before that kicks in, I think it's going
It's
to
going to lead to another team. Like
And-
he's going to just call it.
No,
quits.
I think he's definitely smart enough
To leave.
to call it quits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he got
And I say that because not so much I put him in the same group as Kobe, but I always revert back to Kobe's little mini movie where the bottom line is what Kobe said about him retiring was
I miss Kobe.
it got to the point where
Can't
my
do it.
brain says do it,
But my
but
body.
the body ain't doing it.
Yeah.
That's when I knew
It
it was time for me to go. And I think
See, I like
when
that.
I say that, I put Kyle kind of in that same group, whereas he's so competitive
He wants to play.
where he'll know that
I can't do this.
I can't do it the way I'm used to doing it,
Yeah.
the way I'm comfortable doing it. So it's best for me to walk away. And I think that's what I give a lot of credit to Kobe for, the way he walked away. And now Dwayne Wade, even for that matter as well, with last year, where it was, I could still play, but can I play?
He wasn't Flash like he was Flash.
Right, and that's what I mean. Like he said,
I know Flash.
Right,
Gave us
he felt
gas.
like he could still
Definitely
play.
gave Sixers gas.
Right, he felt like he could still play,
We talk off air,
but he
so I'm gonna ask you a
can't.
question.
But
about
he
Flash.
also felt like I can't play. Like I can't run up and down 35
He's not Flash.
minutes
He
with
couldn't do
these
Flash
guys.
stuff
Right.
like he used to do.
Right, he can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Then you flip over to the side with the Celtics. You got a new look team.
Mm-hmm.
You have Kemba on that squad now. You
How's
have
he doing?
he's doing good.
Yeah.
You still have Gordon Hayward, and you've got. I don't think that team is ready to take that next step fully as a collective. No questions about Kemba to me. No questions about that. No questions about him. I still have some. I still have some questions about Gordon Hayward, all based on the injury.
How about the injury?
All based on the
He's
injury.
got the talent.
Like I like his game.
Yeah.
I like his game.
Nice.
Like his game a lot
Nice.
when he's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But I think his slow progression is because of the injury. Because his was a brutal injury. It wasn't just
Saw
a
that too.
Right.
NBA injury. It was a brutal injury.
Look at that on
It was a
TV.
nasty, brutal injury.
I don't talk about that.
So, this is going to be a good way to kick off Christmas Day. You got two
I'm excited.
up and coming young coaches,
Mhm.
and I say up and coming. I mean, one has already won the title. The other one is just steadily progressing.
Right.
Right.
And I'm thinking the Celtics coach steadily progressing, and then Nick Nurse, who actually won the title.
Mhm.
So I kind of
Y'all
give
mixed
the
up.
edge to me. I give the edge to Toronto.
Oh, you
in
picking
this
the
game.
games? Okay.
I mean, we just gonna go through
Okay.
it. Just, yeah.
Okay.
So I
I'm gonna
kind of
pick. I'm gonna pick.
you can pick. Yeah, I kind of give the edge to Toronto, because they're home,
Mm.
and the fact that Siakam has put himself in that position
He stepped his game
to
up. I like
want to be the Batman. Now it depends on who will be a Robin for them,
Yeah.
but he wants to be the Batman, and
Larry
he's showing
Shaw.
that he wants to be the Batman.
Mhm.
So I give him kudos for that. And then, like we said, Kyle is up there in age, but
He
Kyle
the
is
Batman.
still
Yeah.
he's still a formidable point guard in the
Yeah,
league
yeah.
right now.
He ain't trash.
No. But he's gonna have his work cut out for him against Kemba on Christmas Day.
Oh, he gonna make him play some defense.
He's gonna have his work cut
You
out for
tired?
him against
You
Kemba.
tired?
And I'm not sure what the injury status of Van Vliet is for Toronto,
Mm-hmm.
which would help them. So, these are the things that we Nick Nurse and Brad
It
Stevens.
might come down to coaching.
It probably will
Well,
come
it will.
down to
It will.
coaching.
Who y'all like?
Coaching, I mean,
Brad. He a couple years ago he probably
I like Brad Stevens.
I like
I
Brad,
think Brad
but in
Stevens
this,
is-
I kind of.
I'm
But I'm gonna go with Toronto. I'm gonna go with Toronto.
I kind of go with.
Me too.
Yeah, I
They
kinda
at
give the edge.
Toronto for
Yeah, they
one.
home.
They got that fat
And I kind of
ring.
give the edge.
Mhm.
I kind of give the edge to Nick Nurse
Yeah.
because he just does things.
He's underrated. You think?
Yeah,
so.
I think he's underrated.
Very
He
underrated.
does things
Yeah.
that would
He definitely
surprise.
doesn't get the credit.
Right, that would surprise
Right.
a lot of people.
Right.
Doesn't really surprise me because I'm an avid basketball fan, so I follow.
Yeah, a sport player.
Yeah, so
fan.
yeah, but it really doesn't surprise me a
Right.
whole lot. So
I like.
with that game, I go with.
I'm going to
Like I
Raptors.
said, I go with the Raptors
By 10.
in that game. I don't know if it's gonna be
By
by
nine?
10.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
They're
gonna
home.
be by 10.
Because when they get rolling at home, got the Raptors. They still getting high off the chip.
Yeah, but like you said, I think.
I'll
I
give
think
him
Nick
5.
Nurse.
I'll give him 5.
I think Nick Nurse has the edge.
Yeah, Boston
Has a
plays
slight
defense.
edge as far as coaching.
Yeah.
But
They hit
I
threes
know-
too, ball.
But I also know
Toronto.
from being a Sixers fan and our most recent yearly battles with the Celtics, I know and understand
They gonna fight.
that Brad Stevens is no slouch. He's
Right.
very good with designing plays out of timeouts
Right.
and
Mhm.
situational stuff. He's
Yeah.
very, very good with
They
that.
5 or
So
10.
again, I think it's going to come down to coaching, and I get the Raptors like Baldy said. I agree with that about 5.
Yeah, I give him plus 5.
Yeah, I can't do the 10.
The Dom.
10's a lot.
I can't do the 10.
For a
Like
team that plays defense.
in
10's a
today's
lot.
NBA, 10 points is a lot.
Right.
Yeah, and
10
it's a
points
lot.
damn near like a blowout.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I'm sorry, Boston Celtics fans.
Hey, don't be sorry to them. You in
Yeah.
Philly. Don't be sorry to no Boston.
And I'm a
Celtics
Lakers
fans.
fan, so we
Yeah.
ain't like me.
Don't be sorry.
I'm
Don't
gonna
be
stay with
sorry
my
to them.
pick ball.
Don't be
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. They-
95, 85.
Listen,
The Raptors.
listen.
I'm probably watch the game. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna watch 2:30 ball.
You wanna go to Sixers right now? Why can't we go Lakers Clippers?
No, let's go to Sixers. Because by that time, my mom will be cooking food. I'm going upstairs to watch the game.
I'm talking about why can't we?
Well, I got the Sixers.
No, what else you got as far as that game? It's more than just a pick. We gotta
Matchup. We gotta break
analyze
this
this thing. Like you broke
matchup
down.
down.
What do you
I'll
got?
let you analyze. You know,
So why you want to go to that game first then?
you gonna pick what about the
Listen,
Sixers?
Well, we on it. Since
So,
we on the Sixers
since
game,
we are there
I will-
anyway, folks.
I'll help start the
But
conversation.
there you
gonna
go.
call
He
start
got
this
the
out.
hat on.
So we got the
Absolutely.
reigning MVP, league MVP, and right now he can't be stopped in the league. We can't stop him.
Right.
Milwaukee got a
Right.
They got a core of guys.
What the game? The game's in.
It's in
It
Philly.
is here.
It's in
I was
Philly.
messing with you. I'll make my pick after you.
They
It's
got
here.
core guys
Right.
that they know how to get it done.
Yeah.
They know how to get it
You
done.
missing out something, ball.
What am I missing?
The best player in the world.
You asked me.
Yes, dude. Go ahead.
My analysis is
Greek freak.
that the Greek freak can't be stopped.
Mm.
He can do whatever he wants. He has carte blanche to do whatever he wants. He's hitting mid-range shots. He's hitting.
And
He's hitting
extended-
threes.
extended out to
He's
that
going to
three,
the rack.
man.
He's doing every facet of the game, and he's a defender.
Yeah.
He's a fluid defender.
And now that he's extended out to that 3-point line,
It's over.
it makes him.
He
it makes
became
him
that much
so
more
It's
dangerous.
impossible.
Like
Who will
he
stop
was,
that man?
he was tough to stop last year
Yeah.
without a decent three. And I'm not gonna say it's legit right now. I'm gonna say it's decent
Mhm.
because he's working it. He's still working on it. So I'm gonna say it's decent
It's there,
for
man.
right now.
It's there.
You know, I think it's there, but I'm still saying, and he'll probably agree with me, and he would probably say it himself. Still needs to work on a little bit.
Is he
Where
the
it's
best
like,
player in the world right now? Right now. You know LeBron, the King James. I think he's leaving in like 2 more years. He's the best player in the world right now.
Now-
You think he is, ball?
if I go back to what I saw the other night against the Lakers,
And I love AD, but he's not. The Greek freak got him like this. In 2-3 years, the Greek freak.
I was going to say I can still compare him and Kawhi Leonard
And I love Kawhi
because Kawhi Leonard
he's my favorite player.
beat him
right,
at a
See,
time where
that's
things was
tough.
pivotal.
right,
But in the same breath,
Right.
that same Milwaukee team been slaughtering the West.
mm-hmm.
They blew y'all out too.
Yeah, of course.
So it's
Yeah.
like
And I hate to say,
in terms of like their
Yeah.
skill set and who puts them right here over top of Kawhi Leonard.
And I love Kawhi, but
Right.
this dude,
His-
but
the Greek
Kawhi is like the
no management.
Kawhi. well, Kawhi
He's
is
still
like
a bit-
the European player coming into the league.
Right.
He's fundamentally sound
Yeah.
Right.
on both ends of the floor.
I called him Tim.
There's
Don't
no
go Brady.
flash. There's no flash.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of athleticism. He has enough
People bust your behind.
athleticism
Right.
to do what he needs to do on
Left
the
hand,
court,
right, and he hit
but it's
down.
not the same athleticism that the Greek freak has.
Yeah,
Now he has a
You
J
know,
now.
That's
Yeah.
different.
So it's different. So like
don't
I
gotta
said,
think.
Well, what he has is that freakish athleticism that LeBron had as a young dude. The only difference is he don't jump as high.
right.
but his wingspan allows him to monkey dunk on you,
either hand,
like literally, like
either
off the
hand,
rebound, or even just I turn, I look like I'm gonna do a jump hook, and I just turn and monkey dunk that girl. There's nothing you can do about that.
That's why I want to
But when I see him play, when I see him get the ball out on the perimeter, he's sort of like KD-ish. He's sort of like KD in terms of the movement, his fluency with the movement with the ball out on the perimeter. Free. He can get to where he wants to go.
Yeah, you know that.
Yeah. Now you can collapse the lane, but now he's shooting at a better percentage. Yeah. So now that guy has to come out and play.
At a mid range.
Which
Kawhi
is the killer. Kawhi is the killer of the mid range.
Which I
the
think,
elbow,
which I think is regarding us as far as the Sixers is so focused on the 3-point shot. And we talked about this last week, Ball. I understand that's where the game is now.
Right.
But if you understand basketball, I just need Ben to shoot from the free throw line. Foul line extended. I need you to shoot that.
They're still on that.
But the way it is, and if you look at basic basketball, you kind of can say the same things like we said a lot about KD. Once he pulls up at 6'10", at the position that he's playing right now, the point guard, it's not a point guard in the league that's going to block that.
He's like 7 foot almost.
But it's not a point guard in the league that's going to block that.
Yeah.
So you need to develop that shot, and then like we said, everything that you do well now will be that much easier because you can shoot that shot.
Right. Let's pick the game.
Well, you can't pick the game until you really have looked at.
I changed my pick.
But you can't pick the game until you've looked at the advantages and disadvantages of the team and what one team has been doing well.
Brett Brown doesn't get in his feelings and like he did last year in the playoffs or towards the end of the season and wants to try and put Joel on Giannis.
Nah.
It's not a good move. I know we have a defensive juggernaut who will probably be injured. I hope he comes back and plays that game. Thibault. No, Thibault is our defensive juggernaut. He's a little small, so I wouldn't suggest putting him on Giannis. And in actuality, we got a tough matchup there.
Ben Simmons gonna have to play him.
Ben Simmons is probably gonna have to end up playing him. And maybe Mike Scott.
How you think he gonna do it?
And the reason I say Mike Scott because Mike Scott is the bulldog.
He's
more physical.
Yeah.
You know. But we got tough matchup there. But in turn,
he'll try to hit 3.
But no, it's not even.
It's not even.
No, he shoot the jump shot. That's fine. Shoot 3.
That's that block.
But that's their offense.
Right.
So we can't fault him completely for that. But those are the two most glaring mismatches. We don't really have anybody that can cover or stop Giannis, and they don't really have anybody that can handle Joel.
So it's gonna come. Them role players might have to win this game.
So the role players,
It's like a playoff game, though.
But where Ben Simmons posting up, Eric Bledsoe won't play. He's still injured.
Right.
So that's taking offense away from him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And to be quite honest,
it's gonna make a difference.
Who they got? They got Malcolm Brogdon.
6'10".
Yeah, they picked up Malcolm Brogdon. I think he'll post. He's got to post up Malcolm Brogdon.
6'10". There is an advantage every time he steps on the floor at point guard.
He has jump shots, man.
When you are a post player,
right?
You clear it out and you walk that man down. When they come to double team, you kick out the shooters. That's it.
You want to help him this game?
Listen to me. This what we talked about last week, and I'll continue to say this to the day I die. The simplicity of basketball is there's no relevance in the game no more. Nobody uses simplicity.
Right.
It's no relevance. It doesn't exist no more.
Right.
The fastest way to a point is a straight line. Right. So the straight line is, Ben, to the block.
Right.
Now your big man can't shoot a 3,
right?
But you want to put him out on the perimeter to give him room to maneuver on the opposite low post.
Right.
So allow that man to get that ball. If they collapse, you got shooters.
Yeah.
That's where you focus your attention to.
Right.
But here's the kick. Once he gets the ball, it ain't two playing you.
Yeah. And you gotta go
either
to
hand.
the rack.
Either hand. Whether the man is 6'2" or 6'3" or 6'4" playing you 6'10".
Right.
and he's got to go to the rack with authority.
Yeah.
Like he has shown to do, but he also tends to revert back to.
That's one of the main things he does.
And this is just my opinion. He's too big, and I feel like his basketball IQ is
subpar,
but it's enough.
In game,
yeah. But his overall basketball IQ, talked about last week. You get Charles Barkley down there, and it's I'm playing who tonight?
He's 6'7".
I'm going to get 40.
He's 6'7".
And then you got the other side where you got Shaq, and we know what Shaq did. Oh, I'm playing Brook Lopez.
Soon as that
barbecue chicken.
Right on.
Soon as that shoulder turn ball, it was over. You could not stop. You had to follow him.
Right.
All the time.
But the whole thing is, and I think I think Joe is getting better.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting better. But it has to be some accountability coming from the coaching standpoint.
Right. That's what it comes down to.
The coach has to say to him, "Yo, dude, like they started that game against who they just played last? And they just won that game. But anyway, first time he touched the ball, he was deep in the post. The first 2 or 3 times he touched the ball, he was deep in the post.
Right, yeah.
And that was against Washington.
You can't stop him.
He started out deep in the post. And it stayed that way. Yeah. That's the way he had NBA.
Better than AD?
He is, AD don't want to play center.
Technically, AD is a small forward, power forward.
But AD don't want to play
center. And I'm not going to debate with you because I love him, Love him. But I just want him on the block all the time.
But you got to understand.
But he will go on the block. Yeah. It's just a matter of consistently being on the block.
No, he might be on the block and probably even better. And I hate to say it, y'all probably criticize him. And I love the Dream. He can be better than the Dream on the block if he stay on the block.
I don't think
that footwork.
I would say
I take that back.
I would say he can be as good. I don't think he'll.
And the other thing about it is,
work on it,
it's not that Embiid work in as a post player.
Yeah, he's talented. Yeah.
It's just a matter of him doing it. He wants to be a guard.
He want to hit jump shotters and all that.
The problem is he wants to be a guard.
Like AD.
Shot up.
Right.
True.
It makes perfect sense. Paul Gasol was a guard. Yeah, he was a point guard.
Yeah, he was.
And you know what's funny? Even though people want him to shoot the 3-point shot, people get frustrated with him driving into the paint and kicking the ball out. One, Baldy also agrees with that. But you look at Ben Simmons, like we just said, AD was a guard, but he shot up and had to change positions. Paul Gasol was a guard. Shot up.
Barkley was a point guard.
Had to change positions.
Right.
Charles Barkley was a guard. Size and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Had to change positions.
Progressing
from college to the NBA.
Guard.
Marc Gasol from overseas progressing.
Yeah.
So it makes sense why you see these dudes.
But what I was going to say though, was, you flip it, and since we're talking about this game, you flip it, and you look at Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons wasn't a guard,
right?
At LSU, he wasn't a guard at Montverde.
Mm-hmm.
He was
off the ball.
was the Andre Iguodala.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. He was the Andre Iguodala.
He was a slasher.
He was the slasher.
Yeah.
And he was the.
And he was a good rebounder.
Good rebounder, and he could go. He had enough handle to catch the rebound and go
and push it. Yeah.
You know, because they knew his IQ was there. So that's why Brett Brown has him playing the point guard. Because of his basketball IQ. If you give him 7 plays, 5 out of those 7 plays, he's going to make the right basketball play.
Right.
Which confuses a lot. All they'll say is, well, he needs to shoot the ball more. He needs to shoot the 3. I said, but if you look at 5 trips down the court with him at the point, like we said, 5 trips, 3 out of them 5, he's going to make the right basketball play.
He will.
Whether it starts with him going to the lane and having to kick it to the open 3, which sometimes does happen.
Right.
But his mind frame is, I need to make the right play. And he's going to push to make the right play.
They said, the media said he has an
LeBron James.
Right.
It's not about the IQ, because the IQ comes in game situations.
You know why his is different. Ben Simmons is different. You know why, right?
Why?
Because Ben Simmons is fundamentally basketball sound.
Yeah.
He's not the average college player from the United States going to college, the one and done,
basically
coming to the pros. You know, and like I said, people, you got to go back and you watch his video, his special. He said that. He said I only came because this is where the guidelines were. I had to go to college for 1 year. The NCAA tournament. He said basically, and I quote, I understand what you're saying. He said, but for me, where I was from in Australia, there was no NCAA tournament.
Yeah, there's no college team.
Right.
Yeah,
but
we went.
If you were good enough, you were high school and you went to the international team, and then you went pro over there.
Yeah, and you played for your country.
For your country, right? So it wasn't, but because he was over there in Australia, he's more fundamental, or like we like to say, a lot of these guys are one-trick ponies.
Yeah,
and it's very rare that you find now an American born with the way the game has changed now that are players coming from overseas to the United States than you are, because they practice 3-4 times a week, sometimes 3-4 times a day. Like a lot of them over there, some of them are still in high school.
Like that's your job.
So they leave high school. They leave school, but they leave school and then they got to go right to practice.
That's your job.
Whether they play, and then some of them are playing high school. They leave high school practice, then they got to go and practice with the national team because they also play with the national team. So they get a lot of practice in, and they're more fundamentally sound than the kids from the U.S. because the U.S. is all about and about the show.
And it's crazy because with all those world are
right,
which is true.
To an extent,
athletic guys,
to an extent.
But they're fundamentally.
But now you bring the fundamental aspect over, and now the fundamentals has to catch up with the speed of the athlete here.
Right.
So the only thing that you have in your arsenal as an internet, they've got enough in-game issues on a professional level than our kids coming out of college, because they only got it on a collegiate level.
Right, true.
Right.
But they've been playing adults since they was 13, 14, 15. In international play, they're playing grown adults from other countries. So you have to deal with athleticism of these athletes, very good ball handler. What's going to happen when you got to play against Jay Morant? You got to play against Morant.
That guy dunking on you, coming down the lane.
And he jumping over you and dunking. There's no defense for that.
You see what
Internationally, there's no defense. It's nothing you can do about it.
You can't game plan that.
Right.
You can't game plan.
Now, how are you going to game plan against
a 6'3"?
Your guard coming from international? You 6'2", 6'3", right?
It's embarrassing.
How can you deal with playing against Russell Westbrook?
His speed like that.
Who can you put in place on an international level that you can practice against that plays like him, that plays like Harden, that play like you don't have that until you get in front of them animals.
Right.
Tony Parker was the true specimen of an international player that could easily come in
speed
and contribute because of his speed.
Right.
But guess what happened? He spent a lot of time on the bench for Pop that first couple years.
He did. I remember that.
Because he couldn't catch up to the game.
Because he couldn't catch up to the game and he couldn't shoot.
It was a rule that he gonna cut him the ball.
But surprisingly now, you got Luka Doncic that's doing the exact same thing.
And you got guys that are doing that stuff.
He's succeeding in it right now.
True.
You also got Porzingis, like I said, that duo. Porzingis that has come over.
Well, the game is elevated over there.
Right.
He's
and that shows.
Right.
It shows that the international game has elevated to an athletic standpoint.
Catching up.
To where, hey, I don't care what y'all doing over here.
It was a long time.
I'm coming over here and getting y'all buckets.
It was a long time. The American NBA game, but it's a lot of catch up now. It's a lot of catch up now because you see there's more guys coming over. You know, it always used to be that thing where we gonna draft you or we gonna stash you. You need to work on this for the next couple years or so, and then we'll bring you over.
Those days are over.
In this game, even though we broke down everything, I love the way the Sixers play defense. I just wish there's on or the pressure's almost on to want to knuckle down and play D because they have the potential to play D like that from the gate.
From the rep.
So I'm stretching. I'm going to push the envelope, and I'm going to go with the Sixers in this game.
I was playing around joking. This is like a pick'em game, man.
I'm going with the Sixers.
I got this by 2.
The reason I say that,
you know what? Whoever wins, this is going to be one by 2.
Now the reason I say that because I think we play tonight. I think there's going to be some guys that aren't going to play tonight to be prepared for.
It's like
Christmas.
A big game,
Yeah. I mean, it's a big game, but it's not a big game.
Yeah.
And
whoever won is going to win like 1, 2, 3 points.
I like the Sixers in the close one in this game.
I'll probably agree.
So the next game up is the Rockets and the Warriors. You know, when the schedule came out and we initially saw this game on Christmas, I know a lot of people's first thought was, ooh, that's going to be a good one.
Yep.
You're going to want to see how many points they going to put up together. But the circumstances that we have now, it's not going to be that way. I just hope it doesn't end up being a blowout, which it probably will.
It is going to. The line is. I think the line might be about
Houston's going to beat them by a lot. You know,
it's a shame how bad this team is.
So we all in the general consensus.
Yeah, the blowout is on.
We know 30 points.
It's crazy.
The way Hart takes shots.
It's crazy how, and we normally talk about that. Excuse me, in the NFL where you have that dramatic drop off from season to season. It's not usually like this in the NBA.
Yeah, it's not.
And you talk about a team that went to the finals, 5-6 years in a row?
Yeah.
They won 3.
It looked like they're going to get the number 1 pick.
I think they are going to get the number 1 pick.
And now they are for the worst record in the league, which is mind-boggling because of the run that they had. They were doing some things.
Yeah.
You know, KD just made them that much more difficult than what they were.
Now, them injuries caught up.
So now, you know, but it happens. It happens to everybody.
And a 5-year run. What, they got 3 chips out of that?
It happens, man.
They got 3 chips out of it. Got 3 banners.
And you think about
Should have had 4.
And you think about it, the general consensus and the general talk when they won those 3, when they were going 4 out of 5 years or whatever to the finals.
Right.
The main thing that people were saying was you can't win the championship with a team that shoot jump shot, that shoot threes.
Exactly.
Proved a lot of people wrong. They won 3.
Yeah.
True. They should have won 3. Well, I mean, should have won 4, but we don't talk about that.
Now, I don't think there's any other team put together right now that could do it, shooting the 3 like they did. No. Because those 2 that they had that shot the 3.
Houston don't play no defense.
They
don't play no defense.
And their coach is overrated.
And there's not much left on Golden State, so, you know, I think it's a consensus Houston will win this game.
Put them to sleep. Rock them to sleep.
So, Frank has to go.
Sorry, y'all.
But, you know, of course, that's why I said, why couldn't we go Lakers Clippers first?
Yeah.
Because now we
got take some cake.
That is the next game up. Lakers Clippers at 8 p.m. So
the Lakers gonna win. So
now I'm gonna say this.
Is Brian playing?
Yep. Because he didn't play the other night.
I just saw reports that Brian said I saw a report.
He didn't Clippers.
And this is what we talked about last week. Clippers are scary.
Yeah, I got them on the chip.
They're scary.
I got them on the chip.
And is because one of the things that I think sets them apart from a lot of the other teams in the NBA, like I said, when we mentioned about the duos,
right?
Their star duo can kill you on both ends of the floor, unlike most of the other ones.
Right.
Most of the other duos is offense.
Paul and Kawhi.
But most of the other duos is offense. They gonna get their points. And they gonna score.
We didn't get to the role players and the coach.
But no issue
get to the cup
with playing defense. Pat Beverly give you 30, 35.
And they got snipers off the bench.
And then you got Lou Williams coming off.
You got Doc Rivers, experienced coach.
You talking about Doc Rivers.
Right.
You talking about Lou.
Yeah, he's a
can give you some offense.
He's a dog.
But he's also
a defensive dog.
Defensive minded player.
He will bug you
And then you got the man, like I said last week, I like to say the grown man. Montrezl Harrell.
They won the chip, man. Everybody know they won the chip.
It's tough.
So I'm surprised.
Before you go,
I ain't going.
Since we want to pick, you want to do the picks. I'm liking the Clippers.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I think the Clippers gonna win like by 6. Here's the thing: if they win, not saying sports is fixed, they want to.
Oh, come on!
No, listen. They gonna say they gonna try to hype it up. I got the Clippers win.
You can't give them the win and then take it from them.
No, I give them. They win like by 4 or 5.
So where do fix have
to
come in?
No, I'm saying because they might prepare. It might be a potential.
Why do black people always have conspiracy?
No, I'm saying they might be. It might be a potential Western Conference matchup. Yeah, I mean, it's just a Christmas game.
I'm trying to figure.
Now, don't get me wrong. I do understand that some officials
be in the studio. We ain't in the kitchen.
Game.
We ain't fixing nothing right now.
And sometimes they're.
I'm about to say, where the game is.
We ain't in the kitchen. We fixing. We ain't in the kitchen right now. We in the studio.
Before I get in the Corolla and leave, I got the Clippers winning by 6. I won't be surprised LeBron.
You're not even gonna ride out with your Lakers.
No, I like them, but they don't play defense. They play defense, but the Clippers and plus Kawhi's rusty. He takes low management like every other game.
So do LeBron.
No, he don't. LeBron, he was hurt. He said, "I'm playing this shit."
You think he was hurt?
Yeah, he probably was hurt.
The other day, you think he was hurt?
He probably was.
So he was hurt against Kawhi. He was hurt against Giannis.
So you think he's saving this game for the Christmas?
He was hurt against Giannis.
I don't know. I don't know. He probably was.
He got worked out.
Put it this way, I got the Clippers winning by
We
like
call
4
a spade
or
a
5.
spade. He got worked out.
Basically.
And that's why that meme came out later on, the next day or two.
He should have been.
What through the errors, the change in the guard. You know, here on the show, we ain't the biggest LeBron fan. You know what we
Yeah,
say.
he just had, I got
And like we say it
team.
again. I'm gonna say it again.
Right.
And Baldy gonna have my back.
Right.
You know that question we asked. How long has been Bald? Going on 3 years
Forever.
now? 3,
Right.
maybe 4 years now?
Right.
And we still ain't had no legit answer.
We already know the answer.
And ironically,
What?
we said LeBron don't have no signature move. And
I'm not talking about that.
ironically, what we talked about last week, and you can go to YouTube and hear this from last week. We talked about Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman brought this up individually. What Dennis Rodman said,
The worm.
what he said, I would kick his AWS
Oh yeah, he said that.
because he has no moves.
Right.
Is what he said. And then he said, as a matter of fact, Scotty would get in his AWS before I did. So,
They all would. School basketball
You know.
better back in the day. They played better.
but this thing is like,
I'm
you
not a
know,
LeBron fan. He got that purple and gold
but-
on. I got to root for him.
but the problem becomes the same way it was when he went back to Cleveland.
This is AD's
And a lot of people won't admit this. A lot of LeBron lovers won't admit this. And I still say to this day, and I stick by this, the championship that they won in Cleveland, LeBron didn't win that for them.
Kyrie did.
Kyrie won that. And LeBron lovers will argue me down and say that he didn't.
They really did.
And all I'll tell them is, you need to go watch that again because I don't know what you was watching.
Golden State really had fraud chips.
Because Kyrie won that
Right.
for them.
Now,
Yeah.
what LeBron lovers will say is, you know what I mean? He was hot, so he let him go. No, he didn't let him go. Kyrie Irving went and took the ball and went.
Absolutely.
He ain't asking nobody
Right.
for. He not asking for your permission.
Why do you think he left?
That's right.
He left.
He's not asking for your permission.
He didn't want to be in
to
the
shoot. Kyrie
shot.
Irving is going to
Kyrie
shoot,
Irving's going to shoot the ball.
and he won the
Absolutely.
ball in that game in the clutch.
Yes, he does. So,
All right, yeah.
we all get consensus with Clippers in
Yeah.
this game?
Yeah.
Okay.
I used
So-
to root for my boys, but
Last game up on the list, the Pelicans at the Nuggets.
And you can pick it, Frank, because you got. I know you got a rule.
Yeah.
So
Who's your pick in
who's
this
your
game?
pick?
The Nuggets going.
All right, so we got the Nuggets. I kind of like the Nuggets too. It's a lot going on with the Pelicans. A lot we can discuss about the Pelicans. The number 1 pick, Zion Williamson. It was supposed to be something special there with the Lakers trade and then Zion coming in. Zion hasn't played yet because of the injury. He had to have surgery.
Yep.
So the question becomes, and we see what the Pelicans are right now. They will probably be one of the players in the moves on trade coming towards the trade deadline.
Mm-hmm.
They'll probably be players in that. And I go with the Nuggets in this game because I think the Nuggets are more of a together team from what they have as far as his roster and makeup.
Right.
The Pelicans are still trying to find themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So
They're
they
looking
don't
for
have-
identity.
They don't have any identity as of right now.
Right.
And they got a lot of young players who are still trying to find their way. And then they're going to have a huge adjustment when they try to filter in Zion, if that happens. And then they have to also make a decision whether he's going to play this year or whether he's going to sit out the whole year.
Right.
I don't think he's going to play. They just
So it's a
You
tough.
think he'll play this year?
It's a tough decision,
I hope
man.
he's not one of them dudes going to be.
They
Like,
said that, like, I know it was probably about 4 or 5 days ago where they said that he just started being able to put the weight
On that foot.
on that foot.
Yeah. Now,
So
he needs to lose.
he's a
definitely
ways,
give a
ways
shout
out.
out. Yeah,
He's
give a
20
shout out to my guy
20
James Clark, good friend of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And
JC.
when we talked about this before he even got drafted, Zion I'm talking about. One of the things that JC said, and I quote, he said he's going to struggle. And the reason he said he was going to struggle, Not because of his skill set, because he was going to go to a bad team.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not bad, but they ain't good.
Yeah.
Right.
And they made that trade, and they got some pieces. So now you got to fit him in.
Right.
Because he hasn't played yet. These guys have been playing, so now you
gonna
got to fit
stay
him
on the
in. So it's going to be tough. And again, like I said, not hating on Zion, but the things that he did, the things that he did in college, it's not going to be the same in the NBA.
It's a different animal now.
It's not going to be the same in the NBA. Okay? So now you're going to be playing against somebody either your size or bigger every night.
Yeah.
Or somebody with as much athleticism every night.
Yeah.
So you have an adjustment to make. And that will be made at some point. We just don't know when, because we don't absolutely know when he will be playing. So like we said, we had the surgery. He still can't put weight on that. And our general consensus is the Pelicans. So we got Raptors, Pelicans, Rockets, Clippers. I'm sorry. Raptors, Sixers, Rockets, Clippers, and Nuggets for our picks for Christmas Day games. And that, folks, is your NBA Christmas Day roundup. I hope you enjoyed it. And we will get to a couple other things in just a second. Now, one of the other things I wanted to discuss is I had some bullet points. Like I said, I had some bullet points and I wanted to talk about. And one of the things that's a big topic of the day, and it's about the system being broken. And I make reference to this, and I mean that point as, and that point of NBA and NCAA. Because as we know, the NBA has some proposed stuff that they want to change. It's like a 78 game season. They want to do an in-season tournament. They want to do a bunch of other stuff. So, is the system broken? I, for one, believe that the system is broken. And again, we're talking about the system, NCAA, NCAA, and the system being broken. So, I believe that the system is broken. Whether it can be fixed is a big question. I think that the NBA is looking at trying some things that they think might help as far as fixing the system. But if you are paying attention, if you are in tune, the system is broken. And perfect example currently or most recently is the situation with James Wiseman from Memphis, who finally now is leaving Memphis to go to the NBA, which I don't blame him for.
Yeah.
But part of the problem with his situation was they had suspended him, then they let him play, and then they suspended him again, and then they put stipulations on him like you got to pay $1,100, $1,200 for. Like, this kid got money from his current coach, who was not the coach at the time. He was basically a booster for Memphis at the time. Didn't get the money to the kid. He helped the kid's family move to Memphis in order for him to be prepared and have transition into the University of Memphis. And part of the problem is, how are you going to hold this kid accountable? We're going to go pro. We know he's going to get that money. So we're going to mess with him now. But when he get that money, we're going to want that money back.
Right. We all know it's a scam.
It's all a scam. It's all a bully. Like I said, the NCAA is like a bully system, you know. And will they ever stop being a bully? I don't think so, because it's too big of a conglomerate for someone to fight individually.
Yeah.
You know, if you fight an individual, and I mean, I think that's the reason why this kid has decided to end his college career before it even really started and go pro.
And it's a sad thing because, you know, he'll never ever experience that part of his life, that collegiate aspect of his life.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because there are guys that have came in the league from the pros and go back and they say, man, I wish I had played college ball. Like, I really wish. It's been taken away from him.
Right.
In a fashion where he really wasn't, he should not have been held accountable for that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But you know how they are, man.
Yep.
That's just what they do at the NCAA.
Yeah. So one of the other things is, and we talked about this, about the load management, and we discussed how it hurts the fans as far as the young fans whose parents or whoever, and for the parents as well, have paid good money to see these athletes or these superstars or stars as we like to call them, and then you get there and you find out, oh, he's on load management, he's not playing tonight. Big disappointment. I think that needs to be changed within the league. And it's funny because in the NBA, you just have to say somebody has, you can just say load management. As far as the other sports with the NFL, you have, like an NFL example, you have to say some type of injury.
Yeah.
You can't just say load management. You have to say some type of injury. I think the NBA needs to get to that. And these dudes that are taking this load management, you need to have some type of injury, I feel.
Yeah. Well, with the NFL, they don't have that many games.
Absolutely.
So they need to be as transparent on any injury as possible. Than opposed to the NBA, man. He got 82 games, man. Listen, man.
Absolutely.
I can't say, he need a break.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? Because they'll go back and say, well, this is what they get paid to do. It's your job. You know what I mean? Then even in having a job, you got PTO.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is the NBA's PTO. Load management is nothing but PTO for the NBA.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's all it is.
Yeah.
I need a day or two.
Yep.
I clocked in these hours. I got access to this. However you use your vacation time or a day off, or you take the Friday off because you're off Saturday and Sunday, you get 3 days. You know what I mean?
Or it's an important game coming, like the Sixers, for example. Like I said, I think we play tonight, so I'm sure some guys are going to be load management tonight to be prepared for that full-on barrage that we're going to get from Giannis on Wednesday, on Christmas Day.
And like I said, when we talked about, or especially when we talked about it before, we understand from a professional standpoint why you want to take that time off. But we also understand from a fan's perspective on the fan that feel like he's getting robbed.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's
Absolutely.
two sides of the story.
Yeah.
And I understand both sides of them. Like from the athletic standpoint, listen, man need a break.
Yeah.
And what people need to start doing is they need to start looking at a day in the life of a professional basketball player. You'll see the time they get up from October to May.
That's right.
So do the math.
And sometimes further.
October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. It's almost 7 months that this person is putting his work in.
And then if they go into June.
And then you go into June, and that's
postseason. July, August, and September. So we do feel like, I'm going to go on a limb and say, as of us, SportsRap, we do feel like the system needs to be adjusted.
It does.
We also think that it can be fixed. It's just going to take a lot to fix it. And we also think that the NCAA system can be changed. Well, it needs to be changed, rather.
Or altered.
Because a lot of these kids that are being student athletes are not really being student athletes. They're being looked at as a product.
That's what they always look at.
That's basically what it is.
Because a product makes you money. That product brings in billions. That product brings in endorsements.
And, like we said, the NCAA has a lot of people by the you-know-whats, especially in the month of March. March Madness. March Madness brings in almost $2 billion for each tournament. And that tournament is about a month long.
Yeah.
And you think it's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
A lot of money. And
there's no kick, there's no revenue.
I hope that bill gets fully passed. I see these guys and I see people walking around school with my jersey on, with my name on it. Same jersey I wear when I'm playing. But anytime they buy one of them, no matter where it goes, NCAA gets a portion of that. School gets a portion of that. Why can't I get something?
Everybody but the player.
So quick break. When we come back, we're going to wrap up, give you all the information you decide.